Welcome to Tholos Mythicon, your sanctuary for ancient stories and timeless wisdom, where memory echoes in marble and every whisper of the past holds a truth for today. And now, the stars align, the mists part. Today, we will be navigating the myth of Prometheus. In the age of Titans and Olympians, one figure dared to defy the divine order. Prometheus, whose name means forethought, was no ordinary Titan. He was a rebel, a creator, a thief of fire. From the earliest lines of Hesiod's Theogony to the tragic verses of Aeschylus' Prometheus Bound, his myth has echoed through millennia. He gave humanity fire, symbol of knowledge, technology, and hope, and paid for it with eternal torment. But Prometheus is more than myth. He is metaphor. He is the spark behind Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the defiance of Byron's poetry, the ambition of Ridley Scott's Prometheus. His story is a mirror, reflecting our thirst for progress, our fear of punishment, and our eternal question: what is the cost of enlightenment? From clay to code, from Olympus to AI, this is the story of the Titan who lit the world. Welcome to Prometheus, the Titan who defied the gods. But who was Prometheus? His name means forethought, a stark contrast to his brother Epimetheus, meaning afterthought. This duality is more than linguistic, it's philosophical. Prometheus represents vision, planning, and rebellion against blind obedience. In Theogony, Hesiod introduces Prometheus as a cunning trickster who challenges Zeus during a sacrificial feast. He wraps bones in glistening fat, deceiving the king of gods into choosing the lesser portion. This act sets the tone for their eternal conflict. But Prometheus is more than a trickster. Hesiod paints him as a benefactor of mankind, one who dares to steal fire and knowledge from the gods to uplift a fragile species. Plato in Protagoras reimagines Prometheus as a civilizing force. After Epimetheus fails to equip humans with survival traits, Prometheus steals fire and techni, the arts, from Hephaestus and Athena. He gives us not just warmth, but wisdom. Prometheus becomes the first educator, the first humanist. He teaches us to count the stars, build homes, heal wounds, and speak in symbols. He is the divine architect of civilization. Prometheus is not just a character in myth. He is a mirror of our ambition, our defiance, and our hope. He is the fire in our minds before the flame ever touched our hands. After the war between Titans and Olympians, the world was reshaped, but it was still empty. Zeus, now ruler of the cosmos, tasked Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus with populating the earth. Epimetheus, ever impulsive, distributed all the gifts of nature, fur, wings, claws, speed, to the animals. Prometheus, on his side, is said to have shaped man from clay, mixing earth with rainwater and molding them in the image of the gods. According to Lucian and the Orphic tradition, the clay was mixed with the blood of the Titans, infusing mankind with both divine spark and tragic defiance. Athena, moved by the beauty of his creation, breathed life into the figures. Thus, humanity was born, not from divine command, but from Titan compassion. Prometheus made man upright to gaze at the stars. Unlike the beasts who crawl, he gave us not just life, but dignity. But by the time he shaped mankind, nothing was left. These early humans were fragile, defenseless, and ignorant. All the gifts of nature had already been given to the animals by Epimetheus. Plato's Protagoras tells us that Prometheus, seeing their plight, stole wisdom to give them a fighting chance. He taught them architecture, astronomy, medicine, and language, tools of survival and civilization. Prometheus becomes the first teacher, the first technologist, the first humanist. His myth is echoed in modern tales of creation, from Frankenstein's monster to AI consciousness in Ex Machina. To create is divine, but to create and empower, that is Promethean. Zeus, angered by Prometheus's trick at the feast, withheld fire from mankind, a divine monopoly on power. But Prometheus would not let humanity freeze in ignorance. Hesiod tells how he stole fire from Olympus, hiding it in a hollow fennel stalk. Fire was more than warmth. It was metallurgy, cooking, ritual, and revolution. With fire came civilization. With civilization came danger. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, subtitled The Modern Prometheus, warns of the hubris in wielding such power. In Ridley Scott's Prometheus, fire becomes alien knowledge, creation with catastrophic consequences. Prometheus's theft is echoed in every act of scientific rebellion, from Galileo's telescope to Oppenheimer's bomb. To steal fire is to challenge the gods, and the gods always retaliate. For his defiance, Zeus condemned Prometheus to eternal torment. Chained to the Caucasus Mountains, a remote and desolate place at the edge of the known world, he was visited daily by an eagle, Zeus's symbol, which tore at his liver. Because Prometheus was immortal, the liver would regenerate each night, making his torment eternal. In ancient Greek belief, the liver was considered the seat of emotion, vitality, and even the soul. Unlike the modern association of the heart with feeling, the Greeks believed the liver held one's essence. So the eagle's daily feast wasn't just physical torture, it was a metaphysical unmaking, a slow destruction of Prometheus's very being. Yet Prometheus never repents, he endures unbroken. Centuries later, during his 12 labors, Hercules, Zeus's own son, comes upon Prometheus and slays the eagle, breaking his chains and ending his torment. This act is more than heroic, it's symbolic reconciliation between the old order, Titans, and the new, Olympians. Hercules, freeing Prometheus, suggests that even divine wrath can be tempered by compassion and justice. Modern retellings also echo this suffering. In Supernatural, Prometheus dies daily, cursed with immortality. In God of War 2, Kratos frees him, gaining the power of the Titans. Prometheus's punishment is not just divine vengeance, it is the price of progress, and still, he does not regret. Prometheus gave humanity fire, but Zeus would not let that gift go unpunished. Now that Prometheus had been punished, Zeus turned his wrath onto humanity. His vengeance came not as thunder or plague, but as beauty. Zeus commanded Hephaestus to mold a woman from earth and water, graceful, alluring, and deadly. She would be the god's answer to Prometheus's defiance. Athena taught her weaving, Aphrodite gave her charm, Hermes instilled cunning and deceit. She was named Pandora, all gifted, because every Olympian contributed to her making. Zeus sent her to Epimetheus, Prometheus's brother, despite Prometheus's warning, never accept a gift from Zeus. But Epimetheus, true to his name, Afterthought, ignored the warning. Pandora came bearing a sealed jar. Inside it, all the evils of the world, disease, toil, sorrow, and death. Driven by curiosity, she opened it. The contents spilled out like smoke, infecting the world with suffering. Pandora's myth has often been compared to Eve in Genesis. Both women, both curious, both blamed for unleashing hardship. But where Eve seeks knowledge, Pandora is a divine trap. Her story reminds us every Promethean gift carries a price, and sometimes that price is paid not by the giver, but by those who inherit the flame. Prometheus lives on, not in temples, but in ideas. To the Romantics, he was the ultimate rebel. Percy Shelley's Prometheus Unbound reimagines him as a liberator, overthrowing tyranny. To Albert Camus, he was the absurd hero, suffering without reward, yet never surrendering. In cinema, he appears in Blade Runner, The Matrix, and The Lighthouse, each a meditation on creation, rebellion, and consequence. In science, his name graces spacecraft, AI systems, and biotech labs. Prometheus is the fire in every protest, the code in every algorithm, the question behind every invention. He is not just myth, he is metaphor, and he burns still. Prometheus defied the gods, not for glory, not for vengeance, but for belief. He believed in us. He saw in humanity a spark worth kindling, a mind worth awakening, a future worth suffering for. His torment was not a punishment alone, it was a sacrifice, a wager that we, the recipients of fire, would use it to build, not destroy. But millennia later we must ask, have we lived up to that gift? Are we still worthy of the pain he endured? Nietzsche saw Prometheus as the embodiment of the will to power, creative, rebellious, unyielding. Sartre saw him as the existential hero, choosing suffering over submission. Yet in an age of climate crisis, nuclear threat, and artificial intelligence, we must confront the Promethean paradox. Can we control the fire we've inherited? Have we become stewards of knowledge or prisoners of our own ambition? Prometheus gave us the tools of civilization, but he could not give us wisdom. That we must forge ourselves. His myth is not a relic, it is a mirror. And in that mirror, we must ask, are we still the species he believed in? Time, growing old, teaches all things, but time alone cannot redeem us, only our choices can. And so the question remains, what will we do with Prometheus' gift? Thank you for joining us on this journey through Greek mythology. If you enjoyed the myth, or just love the artistry, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to support the channel. Every click helps keep these ancient stories alive, retold with fresh light for a modern world. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and step once more into the thalos where myths awaken and wisdom endures.